There's a couple of Republicans, however, in the Senate who want to send Democrats a lifeline. Senator Mike Rounds, one of the few, Republican from South Dakota, with us in the studio. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you very much. Do you agree that this shutdown is Democrats' fault?
Yes, I do.
So why, when your political enemies or the opposition is floundering, why would you throw them a lifeline?
Because if we want to actually fix the problems in Washington, D.C., we've got to find a way to bridge that gap. It takes 60 votes in the United States Senate to pass legislation. Today, we've been working on that. We've been successful in the Senate. We've put 3 appropriation bills out of the Senate already. We'll have an NDA, a National Defense Authorization Act, which will pass with bipartisan support. We can do this stuff. But every once in a while, you hit one of those deals where somebody says, you know what, we might be able to take an advantage. Our Democrat colleagues decided that they were going to take a hostage. And the reason why they were going to take a hostage is because they thought they had something that was really important. The problem is they didn't realize that Republicans had an interest in solving a number of these issues, but we won't do it when we've got a shutdown going on. And so you've heard about it, the Schumer shutdown. We think that was a mistake. We think it's a serious mistake, but it's got to be resolved. So part of the message.
Do you resolve it by putting the thumb screws to Democrats right now publicly and force their defection? You think about the 5 Democrats who most likely are to defect over. 3 already did. So
it's going to take 10.
Right, it's going to take 10. But you think, are you hearing from any of these who are trying
we are.
to?
Look,
what do they want in return?
What they're trying to figure out is how do they go to their members and say, look, there's a really high probability that we're going to be able to have a really good debate, and we're going to find a way to move forward on health care issues that they care about and a number of Republicans care about. But the message that we're trying to share is we're not going to do this thing when you shut down government. So end the shutdown, and we are more than willing to work in regular order.
What you're proposing is basically end the shutdown with a promise that in the future we're going to deal with this.
It doesn't have to be a promise. There's clear evidence that we've already started.
So you're saying you're negotiating in good faith?
Absolutely.
But Democrats are sitting there saying, right, that your party is not coming to the table. They're saying Republicans won't talk to us. And Republican leadership is saying there is nothing to discuss. Just take a listen.
The ball's in Chuck Schumer's hands right now.
Show me some evidence that they're willing to negotiate with us and get something done.
Don't ask the Republicans what we should be doing or what we should be negotiating. I don't have anything to negotiate.
Even when they float ideas, which we surely do appreciate, in the end, the president appears to make the call.
Who's lying here?
It's not a matter of lying.
Well, these are 2 very different stories.
No, it's a matter of, from their perspective, what they're saying is we're going to hold the government hostage because we think that's our best shot at actually getting something done. The message that we're trying to send is clear evidence is that in the Senate, we have done appropriations this year. We've actually opened it up. We're doing what they call regular order, where you can have amendments on the floor. It's been successful until the threat of the shutdown has now occurred, at which time we look at it and we say, we're not going to be held hostage to this. Look, we've been working in good faith with you. We've got 3 bills out already. We've got 3 more ready to come to the floor right now. All of them have been open for amendments, along with the National Defense Authorization Act.
How does your position right now, and I ask this respectfully, differ from that of the Republican senators who are just more boisterous about this and say it's the Democrats' fault, and if they want to shut down the government, we're not going to negotiate from a position of being held hostage?
I think what I'm trying to share with our Democrat colleagues is there is a way out for them, but it requires a first step of having some confidence that we're serious about actually getting the job
done. So in other words, the Rounds plan is, hey, you guys reopen the government on good faith, and then we're going to give you some of the things that you're holding us hostage for.
Not give it to them. Work with them just as we have already, and the evidence is clear that we've already started that this year. We don't need to have a government shutdown to work together in the Senate, but we're also not going to be held hostage. So
why aren't we hearing that? Why aren't we hearing that from the president or from the more hard line? You insert whatever adjective you want, members of the Republican Party.
Look, we don't all think alike.
Yeah.
We don't all approach the same tactics. Some folks think it's hardball. I really believe that our Democrat colleagues made a mistake, but I want to give them a way out, which means let's assure them that we really are serious about doing bipartisan work, and a number of the issues that they're talking about right now, we care about as well. However, If you have a shutdown, it makes it virtually impossible for us to work with them to get anything else done.
To be fair, both President Obama and President Biden said the same thing. We're not going to negotiate when the government is shut down. Makes sense. The president, who you know well, is taking a slightly different act. Here he is threatening that if the shutdown continues, he is going to use the shutdown and the power that comes to dismantle large parts of the federal government. Take a listen.
And he has the authority to do it.
It could be firings, and that's their fault. And it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut.
All right. You say he has the power to do it. Do you think he should?
I would prefer that he doesn't, but the way that he doesn't is if our Democrat colleagues come back around and decide they want to work with us to get these things done. Remember,
you say you prefer he would not.
I would
Does that mean that if he did it, you would condemn it?
Nope, because that's his authority. He has that responsibility. He's doing what he thinks is best for the country. And part of it is he is saying, don't do a shutdown. If you do, I have ways of taking care of the problem. You're pushing him to do it. For my Democrat colleagues, I'm saying, don't do that.
Are you getting? Is anybody listening to you on the other side?
I think they are, just in that they're trying to make sure that there is a sense that we really are serious about doing this in a bipartisan manner. My point is don't just believe us. Take a look at the fact that we can't do appropriations unless we have 60 votes. We already know that. And by the way, they're running out of time to get through one of the issues that they truly do care about, which are the subsidies for the ACA, the tax credits.
Right.
And if they want to get that done, it's got to really be done before November 1st. They're running out of time. And every day that they stay shut down, and the Republicans are telling them, end the shutdown first, every day that goes by is one less day to negotiate a very challenging issue, which is how do you reform that if we can do anything at all? I think we can.
Optimism is always welcome here.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir. We need more of it.
Appreciate it.